Hi, it's Jeanette.
Jeannette Rizzi, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you guys?
Good, good. You're a stand-up from L.A.?
Yes, I am.
How long have you been doing that for?
Stand-up, wow, time is flying by fast. I'm going on now for stand-up 13 years.
Nice, nice. And is that what your first thing? Like, did you act first, or do you do anything besides the stand-up?
No, actually, stand-up was my first thing. I mean, I did, here comes my Florida roots. I did beauty pageants when I was young, but just so I could do the talent portion and hop on stage. But I wouldn't say I was good at the beauty pageant part, just being funny. So I started to do that when I was young. And then when I got to LA, I just hopped up on the stage and started with stand-up, and then did commercial auditions. But I sort of found my groove with solo shows, which is my thing now.
I saw that.
Like a one-woman show?
Yes.
Yep, one-woman show.
Hey, when you were doing, I have to. Hi, my name is Craig. I'm a comic from New York.
Hi, Craig.
Hi, how are you, baby?
Good.
You did comedy as in beauty pageants. That was your special talent.
Yeah, I'd always do little improv skits.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I never won, right? I always took, second runner up, because it's always the singers and the dancers that win, and then the funny people come in third.
Right. That whole Miss Congeniality thing happens.
That's right. I did win Miss Congeniality a lot, so I'll give myself that.
Well, that's like third place, baby. That's bronze.
Yeah.
You're on the podium. You don't hear your song, but you're on the podium.
But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to be on a stage ever since I was young, so started with that.
And your parents, your mom was a nun and your dad was a monk?
Yep, that's true.
How did that pan out? Like, did that?
So
apparently they got fired.
My dad sort of threatened me with that story about don't make it juicier than it really is. But they were both. My mother was a nun. She went in after she graduated high school. My dad actually went into the monastery when he was 13. And then my mother's famous line is always that she left because her two favorite things in the world are Almond Joys and Colgate toothpaste. And when the Mother Superior took those away from her, she was done. She quit like 5 years in.
That was the nickname she had for your father.
They made each other break their vows.
He was Almond Joys, I think.
Exactly.
Sometimes you feel like a nut, and sometimes you don't.
True love.
That's true love. Exactly.
So was he?
And then, and my dad, he left, and he was going to be a priest, but he met my mom, and they fell in love and got married. And my dad moved to the South and got a farm so he could be like St. Francis and have a lot of animals.
Was he Irish and she Italian?
Both Italian.
Oh, they were both Italian. I figured she was Italian going into.
I figured with the name Rizzi, I figured that was Italian.
Yeah,
I didn't get
all Italian.
Yeah, that's.
Can I change my last question? Was he Italian and she Irish? No. I didn't see your last name. Sorry.
Wow. Did that help or did that hurt you growing up?
Well, I grew up in the South, so like there wasn't very many Catholics and there wasn't very many Italians. So I guess it sort of helped me get thick skin because I got picked on all the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they would always say, they couldn't really figure out what I was because I had such dark skin and such curly hair. So they'd always ask me if you half black, half white, you one of them little mojitos running around, and I'm like, no, I'm Italian.
Wow, shit.
Now, just to think that's the name of a drink now.
Yeah.
It used to be a very racial slur. Now it's hip.
Yeah, exactly. So,
you one of them mojitos? No, but I drank one.
Oh. Your one-woman show, Jeanette, is called Blindsided?
Yes, that's correct.
And it deals with suicide prevention?
Yeah, so when I saw John Leguizamo do Sexaholics, I was inspired because he told sad parts of his life, but he was really funny.
That's what I was going to ask. Is that hard to incorporate?
Yeah, so
comedy.
I wanted to do something with, the loss of my friend, but I didn't want to. I don't know if you guys have ever watched anything on suicides, like the documentaries, but usually by the end of it, you're ready to kill yourself too because they're so depressing. So I was like, I want to do something that's inspiring and funny that people will actually listen to. So I started to do the one-woman show, and I incorporated, all these Italians living in the South to make it funny. And then, but yeah, I do deliver the message of my friend taking her own life and try to make it something positive.
She was your best friend, correct?
Yeah.
Well,
so I actually had two friends take their own lives, though. I had a friend take it in my senior year. I had grown up with him, and then he had left her name in his note, and then on the anniversary of his death a year later, she did it the same way.
Right. That's what I was going to ask. I didn't know if it was ever known why she did it. What was it?
Well, I mean, I think with teenagers, it's sort of that domino effect. When one does it, and then it puts, it's in their heads, and then the next person does it, and the next person does it.
It's okay to do it because so-and-so did it. It's not so bad.
I remember when my sister was in high school, that year she was a senior, if one more person in her class killed themselves, they were going to, just end the school year or something.
Oh,
it was, so many. I think a teacher even that year killed himself.
We had, in my school, I've known 5 people that took their own lives. But that's the thing is, the more you try to talk about it, especially among teenagers and college students, they say, oh, well, we can't bring you here because it's going to put it in their heads. And I'm like, well, you've already had 4 students take their own lives. It's already in their heads.
It's already there.
So you might as well talk about it.
I'm sitting here thinking about it, and I'm sitting back. I'm 48 years old, and I'm already up to 4 people that I'm right off the top of my head that have committed suicide in my life that I'm just thinking of, right off the top of my head. You don't even think about it much. Now we're talking about it. I'm like,
wow.
How many people do I know? And more and more people keep popping into my head. I'm up to 5 actually talking about it. There's someone else just recently, an older woman.
I remember
growing up.
Years old. It was an older guy, a parent of my neighbor, and he, I guess, got diagnosed with cancer. He stood in front of a train, and same thing when I was working in a pharmacy. I think it was a husband and wife. He got diagnosed for the second or third time with cancer, and she didn't want to live without him, so he shot her and then himself, killed them both.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's more, the more you talk about it, the more people realize, oh wait, I do know somebody that did this. So I try to use the show to deliver a positive message. And I keep it, I talk about the sad parts, obviously, but I keep it light so people will listen. Because in comedy, that's the last thing anybody's like, oh, I'm not coming to that. I want to go out and laugh. I'm not going to listen to a show about suicide. And you're like, and then you just look weird the more you're like, no, it's hilarious. Trust me, come watch it.
What is the most effective thing you have that helps? Do you think with preventing it?
The fact that I admit to struggling myself, and then I talk about how I overcame that and wanting, and then so when people look at someone who does comedy, or you're in the light all the time, well, not all the time, but you're on a stage and they think that you have this happy life, and the minute you stand up there and you're like, no, I look like I'm all put together, but I have these struggles too, and I don't feel like living some days, and this is what I do to overcome it, and I make jokes about it, and I survive, and the sun always comes out tomorrow. You just got to find a way to deal with it. And the more it becomes real when the person's watching and say, oh, okay, well, she dealt with it and she overcame it, maybe I can too. And I think that's it's just bringing it home and making it real. I mean, even my parents, I think my dad had to see the show 5 or 6 times, and then he was like, wait, are you serious that you want to kill yourself? And I was like, yeah, Dad. And how come I didn't know? And I'm like, well, I don't know. The signs were all there. You just weren't paying attention. Crazy.
Wow. Yeah, no, it's kind of like joke to cope kind of thing. Exactly.
And my mother, I do this joke that she kind of, even though she left the convent, she still just really helped people who were in need.
Okay.
So in doing that, and she was a kindergarten teacher and a child development specialist, she never noticed the problems I was having. And I after my friend died, I got a dog, and so I tried to have the dog tell everybody that I did like a voice for a dog, which sounds insane, but I tried to have the dog tell everybody that I wanted to die, and so that was my thing. Like, hello, a dog was telling you I wanted to die. Nobody else thought I might need therapy over this.
Well, the last time we heard about a dog talking to somebody, the guy killed 7 people
Son
in New
of
York
Sam.
in the 70s. Yeah,
He was a mailman.
and the dog kept telling him to do it, so he did it, baby.
Yeah, well, my dog was more positive. He
All right,
told
there
me
you
to
go.
live.
Right, rubber.
Oh, because the sun will come out tomorrow. He watched Annie.
Exactly.
That's why. If he didn't see Annie, your dog.
No.
Oh, Sandy. Is your dog's name Sandy?
Sandy.
Sandy. Wow, how bad did that just... I'm a 48-year-old bald man. It looks like I should be in the Aryan Brotherhood, and I'm naming the dog in fucking Annie.
You
How
got
bad
it
is
before
that?
me. I was trying.
Should
to
I
remember
leave?
The dog.
Should I leave now?
Get out of here.
The sun will come out.
Go with Sleepy Lucas.
All right.
We're sending these guys to their room.
This is terrible.
That's hilarious.
Don't quiz me on Harry Potter, because I'm fucking down.
What do you have coming up, Jeanette? Do you have any other projects?
So, well, I'm using. I just did the improv the other day, but I've started to write a memoir. But I'm working on building a fundraising show. So I like to use comedy to get people to come in to do fundraisers for suicide prevention. So I am actually getting married in February, and since I don't know if you guys ever done the comedy circuit where you've got to get people in the room, so I'm going to use it to my advantage since everyone's coming for the wedding and do a huge fundraiser. And I have my LA comic friends on board to.
You're gonna have a bringer wedding?
That's cool.
That's fucking awesome.
Not my wedding. I'm not going to do a bringer wedding. Although
open mic
technically, I guess
wedding.
a wedding is a bringer
You
show.
should.
But...
You know what? You should get married at the fundraiser and do a bringer wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have. There's a real funny comic in the city, Pat Dixon. He has the New York City Crime Report on the Cumia Compound Media, and he and his wife got married at the New York City Comedy Club in front of a live audience and stuff about 2 years ago, which was really awesome. Yeah, they taped it, so you should do it, baby. You should do it.
Well, yeah, I'm going to do the night after. I'm going to do a show and get everybody to come and raise the money.
That's
and,
the night you're
give
supposed
it
to get pregnant. The night after. That's what I was told. I'm married 26 years. I don't know nothing.
Slim's still trying to get pregnant. He doesn't realize he can't. He keeps running these Craigslist ads. It's depressing.
Looking for somebody willing to impregnate me.
I keep telling him to run these ads, but he doesn't realize it's not going to work.
Well, if Rob says it's the truth, he's got a microphone.
Yeah, it means I'm a professional. I got a microphone.
See, I cut back on that. I was going to get really stupid, but here's this young, beautiful woman talking about suicide prevention and trying to sell all this, and we were just going to take that down a very terrible rabbit hole. Yeah, thank you for that. Like stopping that before it went any further.
Works sometimes. Then people keep listening.
There you go. Oh no, it works all the time for me. I don't even care if people listen. One track mind.
Oh. But you've toured all over the country, correct, Jeanette?
Yeah, so I actually partnered with Laughspin, and so Dylan, who runs Laughspin, the comedy website, I'm not sure if you guys have checked that out before, he came on board to assist me because I was, when you're reaching out for yourself to push a show, especially about suicide, it doesn't really work so well. So he got me going. So he reaches out to colleges, and I did Laugh Fest this year. I don't know, have you guys done Laugh Fest or been there? That's a great festival. No. So I've started to book a lot of festivals and do the show, and Dylan kind of has the connections, and he gets me booked and says, oh, no, it's a funny show. You should bring her in. So I'm hoping, I have my fingers crossed for Sketchfest in January. A friend of mine put in a good word to go there, but you just, always waiting to hear the yes or the no.
Yeah, I'm doing comedy almost 17 years. I don't do very many festivals. I've done a few. I did the New York City Comedy Festival a couple of times and stuff, but I don't submit to them like a fool. And then I don't do it. I'm like, screw this. And then all of a sudden I see it and it's happening or it's coming closer, and I'm like, what a fool I was. Or I'm just I'm in my own little world. I need help. Like, so you have someone helping you out with some of the gigs. I have no agent manager. My wife helps me with a lot. If she didn't, I would just sit home and talk to the mirror. You know, so thank God.
Talk to the wall.
Yeah. I'd be the funniest guy in my bedroom. But
well, it's not. I
And the
mean, some
sexiest.
festivals you go through all this, right? And you fly there, and then there's 5 people in the audience. So sometimes they're not all.
That's what I was going to ask.
Should be.
Are they as helpful as you would think?
Yeah, they're not, and you spend, and that's the thing is like it's funny because when you're in the circuit or you're trying to pursue it, you get it. Where other people, you know, they're looking from the outside, so they're like, oh, everything's so cool, and I'm like, yeah, not when you fly to North Carolina and you're there for a week and there's 5 people in the audience.
right,
There's 5 people and 5 teeth.
you know what? 3 teeth.
Yeah.
Don't give that kind of credit. She's from the
you
South.
fly
She
from
knows
Los
better.
Angeles, they're all Republicans staring at you, and you're like, okay, well, if I thought I wanted to kill myself before I got here, now it's much worse.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. I look at these festivals and I'm like, this one looks like shit. This one actually I've heard was good. This one's this, but it costs you a lot of money. You got to submit.
Yes.
You got to pay for your submission. You got to do all this. And is it good for your career? Absolutely. If you get seen by the right people.
Yeah.
But I always bail and then get mad at myself that I don't do them. And I really
that's
should.
I was wondering if there was regret involved. Like
there is for me. Like I want to go on the road and do them like she's doing. I want to do like I've done the New York City thing for years. I want to get out of here. I do travel the country too, and I love it. And I do very well. I just have to slow down a little bit with my talking. But I got that. I curved that as well. I could slow down a little bit. But otherwise, it's just one run-on sentence like your story before.
Like all of my messages.
Yeah, like all your messages.
All of my private messages.
One big sentence. But yeah, I have to start doing more festivals. I really do.
Yeah.
Have you ever done the SLO Festival? SLO? Up in
no. I
St.
saw that
Louis,
one. I didn't submit this year because I had a good year of getting accepted. But you know, it's just as you said, you're going to North Carolina and Boston 2 times, and here and there, and then you're like, okay, budget's up for the year. That's it. No more festivals. I have to try that one next year.
Right. I want to come to LA, but I don't want to come to LA without being called. If I'm not
without
called,
having something.
Yeah, if I don't go out there for
into.
something, I'm just another comic trying to get on stage. So.
Well, you can come do my comedy fundraiser show.
I would love to do your comedy fundraiser show if I was out
give
there.
you space on my comedy fundraiser
nice.
show.
That would be amazing.
And what about a room to sleep in? No, I'm just kidding. I'm
just a garage.
Yeah, you don't want me anywhere near your house. I look like those people you ran away from down south. Just smaller. You know, it's so funny. I'm like the littlest guy. Like I'm like a little guy. I'm not like a big guy, but I look like a big guy. And
you are a big guy.
Do you know, Jeannette, do you know the name at least? Do you know Mike Buschetti?
Yes, I do know that name. Why do I think Mike's my friend on Facebook?
Yeah, I'm sure he is. You're an attrective woman. He is your friend on Facebook.
He's a real friendly fella.
And if you ever said anything on any of his pages, he will answer you back. He'll be like, oh, yes, thank you, Jeannette. You are awesome. He'll use your whole name, though. He'll be like, thank you, Jeannette Rizzo. You are the best. Thank you. He's wonderful. Mike Buschetti is awesome. I just did at the New York Comedy Club. I did a roast battle against him. They do the roast battle, and it's an awesome thing. And it was the first time I ever did it. And they want me back, but I got the shit beat out of me because Mike looks special needs.
He does.
You know, if you ever seen Mikey looks a little, Downs. He looks special needs.
Right.
And he's not, but he does have some issues, but he's not. But I love him, and we're friends for like 15 years. And I'm only 5'8", but I'm a stocky, bald guy with a big beard, like goatee, and so he was doing all Aryan race jokes on me, and everybody's laughing and all this stuff. And I'm doing like retarded and autism jokes on him. The fucking room turned on me so fast.
Oh, they were running you out.
Oh my God, because I suddenly became the little
You're
Aryan guy.
Yeah.
I'm like,
You're
you guys
the
are all,
Aryan.
you're getting mad at me. The guy's like a foot bigger than me. Like, he's bigger, he's taller, he's heavier. He could beat me up. Like, come on. Just because but everybody bought into this.
And it was just out of fun.
Yeah, because he was like, look at Craig. Craig looks like his favorite comedy was Schindler's List, like shit like that, My favorite dance step was the goose step and shit, like my favorite dance move, like stupid shit, and everybody just laughed.
I think you're brave to do those. I'm too scared. Like, if I went into that, all that Catholic guilt I was raised on, I start to feel bad. Like, I'm a bad person. I just want to make fun of myself, not other people.
No, dude, I'll tell you 2 of the jokes. My opening joke was like, look at Mike Buschetti's here, and I'm happy that you all here tonight because most retarded people don't live past the age of 50. So, Mike is 56 years old. So that's how I opened it. And they're all laughing, and then I said, if the name Buschetti had a family crest, it would be a colorful puzzle piece. And the audience was just like, oh! all.
Covered in
I was like, it's a
drool.
fucking roast, man.
Yeah. If it's
You
a
know,
roast, that's what
come
you have to
on.
expect. That's
So what? It was an
you're gonna get a
autism
roast.
joke, but it was funny.
Yeah.
It's another context. That's
Yes.
Yeah.
It's Mike.
And it was all downhill from there. Yeah. And he was doing little one-liners about me being an Aryan. They were like, "We love you."
You're right.
This
Kill the
guy's
bald
so
guy,
brave.
yeah.
This guy's so
Right.
brave. Get the other guy out of here.
The Aryan is picking on the special needs boy over there.
Yeah, I have no guts to do those. So hats off to you.
Yeah, nah, they're fun. I mean, it was my first one. I'm going to do it again, but I'll never do it against anyone who will ever look remotely like I can, offend somebody that I pick on their, I want to get a really good-looking guy or a girl or something. Yeah, someone is like really charming and gets laid a lot, and I'm miserable. I'll just tear him apart.
Get a
Well,
really
I'll
sexy
go
guy.
then, and then you can just plant me, and then you can tear me apart, and then you can win.
Nah, come on, you're getting married.
Well, yeah. So then you feel free to rip on me, right?
Yeah, no, well, you'll feel free to be ripped on after a little while. You're like, please, somebody talk to me.
Oh God.
Yeah, welcome to it, honey. Have fun. Talk to me in
Thanks.
26 years. Yeah,
How long have you been married, Craig?
26 years this
26,
November. Yeah,
wow.
next month. 26 years next month.
Well, that's impressive.
That's
My
almost
kids, yeah.
sainthood, right
Well,
there.
that's why I just shot my own 1-hour special, and the name of it, ironically enough, is Craig Loigren, Married and Miserable. So it's going to be a big hit.
Yeah, I think it'll resonate with a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, look for it on PBS. They'll be,
All right,
they'll be looking
I
for
will.
$25 and $50 donations for a bag.
They'll give you a handbag, yeah.
I curse more than anybody probably, and like I just have a really bad potty mouth. I'm not dirty, but I'm potty. So it'll be like they're like, yes, if you donate to Channel 13 right now for $25, we'll get this cute little Bronx Zoo bag out to you in commemorative like PBS sticker. Now back to our program, and I'm like, you motherfucker, I hate you. Like like I hate my children. During Thanksgiving, I gave them all their own Native American names. I told my son, "Broken rubber, get in here." That's the way it's gonna be. Like,
Take my wife, please.
right. Well, her Native American name was Gives Bad Head. Mine is Comes Too Quickly.
What's Slim?
My daughter's 5 seconds longer. Yeah. Slim's not part of my family. I didn't get to name him. That happened at a rage one night at Thanksgiving about 3 years ago, and I turned it into a bit. Yeah, so everything on stage is a bit. Everything I talk about is my miserable fucking existence. I'm sorry, kids.
Oh, shit. So that's what you're in store for, Jeannette.
Yeah, enjoy.
Yeah.
Children are wonderful.
I'm ready.
My kids are 25 and 23. They still live at home. I can't get them to move out.
They don't.
Oh, geez.
I'm
well,
40.
Oh, yeah? Oh, you still live at home?
Yes.
Oh, see, you know what's fucked up? I reported myself to Child Services. I was trying to get the kids out. They're like, Mr. Loigren, after the age of 18, we're not responsible. And now I sit here and Rob is like, I'm 40. I still live at home. I'm like, fuck! I'm going to move into a 55 and over community just so my kids can fucking move out. I got 8 years. I'm like, please let me in early. Please. These little fucks won't leave. They got good jobs, good cars. They just don't want to leave the fucking house.
Jeannette, we have to wrap this up, but thank you so much for talking to us.
no problem. Thanks so much for having me. You guys have a nice evening.
Where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Twitter. I'm at Jeannette Rizzi. It's 2 N's, 2 T's, 2 Z's. Same thing on Facebook. You can find me there. And then I also have a website where if you want to message me or check out upcoming show dates, it's just JeannetteRizzi.com. 2 N's, 2 T's, 2 Z's.
Nice.
Awesome. Thank you.